Why Charles Oliveira should retire this year? We know that we all love Charles Oliveira. So, I was thinking about what would make Charles Oliveira achieve the GOAT status in the lightweight division and let him go as the best or one of the best to ever do it in the lightweight division. I thought about a really good plan that will turn Charles Oliveira into the lightweight GOAT. So, let's talk about the last fights that he had. He had fights against Ferguson, Chandler, Gaethje, Poirier, Makhachev, and Dariush. The Ferguson fight, he really dominated the fight from the start to the end. He won a unanimous decision. I think that was 30-27, and then he got the title shot and he went to fight against Chandler. In that fight, everyone was thinking that Chandler would become the UFC champion. We will not pretend that everyone was saying that Charles Oliveira would become champ. No, everyone was saying that Chandler would be champ. But Charles Oliveira went there, lost the first round, almost lost the fight, and then got back in the second round with a beautiful KO with the left hook, and then finished the fight against Chandler. Then he became the champ. What was a really beautiful moment for every UFC fan, because man, he was really happy. So after this fight, he went to defend his title against Poirier in a war. In the first round was a back and forth battle, but with the knockdowns, I think that everyone agrees that Poirier won the first round. But Charles could get a takedown, and then he really dominated Poirier. Was almost a 10-8 round, but we will say 10-9. And in the third round, Charles could get the back and a rear naked choke in a really beautiful moment, because everyone who was a Charles Oliveira fan was with the heart rate through the sky, because everyone was thinking that Charles Oliveira would lose. But he could get the win against Poirier, although he was really beaten. After this, he went to fight Gaethje, and he lost the belt to the weight. I still don't agree with this, because not long ago, Khabib Nurmagomedov, he missed weight in his last fight against Gaethje, and I don't know why they kept the championship with Khabib. Maybe because he was a big star. But with Charles, we know that the weight scale was really fucked, because every fighter was complaining about it, and the commission say that they had messed up with the scale. So I don't know why they didn't let Charles with the belt. But the champion has a name, and it's Charles Oliveira. And he went there, had a 1-round war against Gaethje. A crazy war. He was knocked down twice. He could get the finish. He simply beat the shit out of Gaethje and then went to a rear naked choke. After this, he went to the Makhachev fight. He went there. He was supposed to win and beat Makhachev, but he didn't. He had a really awful night and an off night, and he couldn't get the win. And he lost, and Makhachev simply broke his 11-fight win streak. But after this, he bounced back, beating Dariush, who was seen like a monster. Everyone was saying that Dariush would murder Oliveira, and then he would beat Makhachev. But now everyone is saying that he is washed and thing. Man, the MMA community is a joke sometimes, really a joke. But okay, after this, he beat Dariush in the first round without suffer any knockdown. He simply knocked out Dariush. And now he is scheduled to fight Tsarukyan, and here is the plan. I think it's really hard to beat these guys, but to become the lightweight GOAT, he needs to beat Tsarukyan and Makhachev twice. I'm not crazy, I'm really serious. He needs to beat Tsarukyan, then he beats Makhachev twice, or Makhachev plus someone, maybe Gaethje or Poirier, who is available, but he needs to beat Makhachev at least once and then defend the title. And I think that this is fucking possible. If he fights in the UFC 300, he doesn't suffer any major damage. He goes in a camp 1.5 months and fights Makhachev, beats him in July, then goes there. We have a rematch in December. Charles shouldn't accept a fight in Abu Dhabi. No fucking way. He should not accept a fight in Abu Dhabi because it's horrible to fight there. He himself said that. So it's horrible to fight there. Everything is different. It's like another planet. So he should fight Makhachev in July. I don't know how. He needs to beat Sarukin easily. I think that he might be able to do it. Then beat Makhachev and then defend the title. I don't know if it's against Makhachev or anyone, but he needs to defend the title, then retire. I think I know that this is a really risky plan and it's problematic itself, but it's with these moments that we have the legends. And after he does everything, he simply will go and retire as the best to ever do it in the lightweight division.